they want.
Here we go.
They don't. Women want things that women think they want things, and then they get them and they leave the dude. Women don't have a clue what they want. I want a guy who's sweet and sensitive and takes care of my needs and thinks about me, but they're all out there. None of you are with them. Why? Because women don't want that. Women don't actually want that. Women want to be with a man they respect. Women are only going to enjoy the time with and end up feeling in love with a man they genuinely respect. And unfortunately, to overall relationships, let's say happiness. I know loads of women who are with a dude they hate, but they respect him. Like, he makes me so mad, but he's the G. And they stay with him, as opposed to the woman who's like, well, he's so nice to me, but you know, and leaves. So women need to respect you as a man. How's a woman going to respect you as a man if no other girl wants you? How's a woman going to respect you as a man if you're putting her above all your boys? How's a woman going to respect you as a man if you're not here in the streets making money? How's a woman going to respect you as a man if you don't respect yourself or other men don't respect you? Respect is linked to fear. How is a woman going to respect you as a man if people don't fear you? There's a problem with all these dudes out here, all these dorks, man, especially in the crypto world. I'm saying crypto because you're a crypto girl, right? These nerds will make a little bit of money and wonder why their chick still leaves them, because you're just a rich nerd now. You're still a dork. You can still raise your voice and nobody give a shit. I'll still run up on you and take everything you got. Like, you have to be a man worth respecting. And that's extremely difficult to do. And if you're going to do all those things, it's very, very hard to become a man worth respecting, sitting at home, changing diapers. And even if you just make money on your laptop, it's not enough. For the longest period of human time, for a man to be respected, for him to even be admired by society on any level, to some degree, he had to be a warrior. That's what men did. We fought.
Right.
That's what men did. We fought. So if you're out here as a man and you have no battle in your life, no conquest in your life, no form of war in your life, then what you did? And it doesn't have to be physical. Physical is the best example of it. Every woman wants a boxer or a cage fighter. Of course, and women can smell that. So if you want to have a woman who truly respects you, you need to put yourself through war in some form. Now, what most men do is they avoid physical confrontation because they're cowards, and they start doing physical confrontation. This is why men are so obsessed with money, because it's the degree of conquest. We can no longer walk the earth and conquer land, right? It's not like the olden days where we could just walk around as the Romans and just chop somebody up and take their land. So now we conquer the land financially. This is why men will work so hard to be a CEO and give up his whole life just to be a CEO, because then he gets to feel like he's conquering something. Men have that innate desire for conquest. So literally mind-blowing to me, the level of cowardice we're forced to endure. Everyone's a pussy. Everybody. Why? Because they've been deliberately designed to be pussies. The femme-centric systems has deliberately installed frames in their mind.
Which femme-centric system?
Every single system is femme-centric. Are the strongest men of history, were they at home changing diapers? Did their wife tell them they weren't allowed out? Because we have a kid and I need help, or was he out there getting shit done? And this is the point. So a lot of the things I say, people may disagree with them. People may say, I don't like the idea of that. Even some women may sit there and go, oh, that's wrong. There's a whole bunch of beta males who are going to try and pretend it's not true. But it's the absolute reality of Earth. It's the absolute reality of Earth. It's the truth, right? And it's very, very hard to be a man worthy of respect if you're going to stick to these femme-centric systems. We're suffering from monumental cowardice on every level. The entire male population, from the complete bottom to the absolute top, is corrupted by cowardice. But male loyalty, masculine loyalty, is completely misunderstood. All these dudes out here who are at home with their wife thinking they're loyal, you're not loyal. Loyalty is having options and returning to the same place, not only having one option. They're very different things. If I walk into the store and they only sell apples and I buy an apple, I'm not loyal to apples. I don't have a choice. Loyalty is walking in the store where they sell all the fruit. I buy apples 6 days a week. Occasionally I get a big fat pineapple and I go back to apples the day after. That's loyalty. Without choice, there's no loyalty. So most of these dudes and most women who say, he's loyal, he's lame, and he can't get nothing else. That's not loyal. Loyal is a dude who has all those options and still is in love with you. That's what loyalty is. So masculine loyalty is completely misconstrued and misunderstood anyway. The truth is about most of these dudes that talk about being loyal, they couldn't get something else if their life depended on it. Nobody wants it. When you go to a petrol station 3 in the morning and a Lambo and a Rari pull up, you know they're done dealing drugs. Yeah. You don't look at them and go, he worked hard in school. No way.
Got that A.
No, exactly. So I always had an intrinsic understanding that the only way to truly get rich is to break the system in some degree. So when I was going to school and the school was trying to purport the system, they're trying to convince me that the system is the best way to have a successful life, I was sitting there going, but everyone's living the life I want. Broke the system. I don't believe in any of this. But you need to be very, very understanding of the fact that if you're going to stay inside the matrix and be a fully law-abiding citizen for the next 10 years, you're going to get crushed.
Yeah.
you're gonna get crushed. You need to either get another residency to another country, you need to get political connections.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everyone saw my Twitter during these lockdowns. I traveled to 30 countries during lockdowns.
Yeah. You partied.
I partied, yeah.
I
And
saw
it's
it.
all because I knew somebody. I know somebody everywhere. I had a guy in Russia who gave me a business visa through his company to go to Russia during
That's
close.
amazing.
I know everybody, right? So with my connections, my network, and the number of passports I have, which is in excess of 10, I can do whatever I want. If you only have one passport, then one government has jurisdiction over your life.
Correct.
And I don't trust any of these governments. Now, the idea of living off-grid is outdated. The idea you're going to go to some hut in the forest and sit there with a bunch of guns and that, it's not real, right? The New World Order's here. We're all plugged into the system. The best thing you can do as opposed to living off-grid is to live on as many grids as possible, because that allows you a lot more flexibility. In the height of Corona, when I was traveling around, when I wanted to go into a country, and they said, you're not allowed in the country, Americans are banned, English people are banned, Swedish people are banned, Romanians are allowed in.
Yeah.
Cool, so I'm the same guy, right? I'm just whipping out passports. Many people out here, especially men, are not prepared for wealth. And when I say they're not prepared for wealth, they haven't been through the struggle that's going to allow them to become a man of caliber before they find money. They haven't done the running to the fish stall, running to the gym, getting punched in the face for money. They've never done that. So what happens when a 19-year-old kid catches a crypto pump on some junk like Shiba? Now he's a millionaire, fine. But a few things have happened. First, his ability to work hard has now been destroyed. He'll never work hard again, right? Because look how much money he made with blind luck. You think he's ever going to go out there and get a job and take a pay of 50 grand a year and really dedicate? Never. Even if he lost all that money, the only thing he could ever think to do is to just try and get another pump. He's a gambler now. He's effectively a gambler for the rest of his life. So his whole work ethic's been decimated. Yeah, money is just an amplifier. I'll give you an example. Lambo pulls up.
Yeah.
Nerd gets out. Now he's a super nerd. Oh, some tech dork that he has a Lambo. Who gives a shit? He's a nerd. Lambo pulls up. Big man gets out. Now he's a mafia boss. So the point is that the Lambo is not what makes you a mafia boss. The Lambo, if you have all the other qualities, will amplify your qualities into that sphere. It's an amplifier. Money is an amplifier. And the point I'm making about wealth and crypto when I insult these guys is that a lot of these guys don't have any of the qualities they need to be amplified. They don't have anything worth amplifying. If you're a man and you've made a bunch of money on crypto, the smartest thing you can possibly do is understand that the traditional paths to wealth, pre-crypto, taught you a lot about being a man. If I had to make millions the old-fashioned way, I'd have to learn to negotiate, I'd learn how to handle stress, learn how to work really hard, learn how to network. I'd have to learn so many things. These autists don't need to learn none of that. I thank the Lord I spent my 20s engaged in constant combat. I don't know how there's a full-grown man out here. If you're watching this, how are you a full-grown man past the age of 30 and you've never once had the balls, once ever, to get in the cage in a fair fight against a worthy adversary and you walk the earth without shame? I'd be ashamed as a man if I spent my entire 20s, the height of my masculine powers, the height of my ability, and never once did I have the balls to go and meet somebody in fair combat. Ever once. Oh, well, I was busy. Busy doing what? You spent so much time on Pornhub, you're a liar. Never busy. Cowards. Here's the thing about money most people don't understand, is that for the most beautiful women on earth, the reason they don't really respect your money is every guy they talk to has money. You're never going to go on a date with a broke dude. So every single place you go, you don't pay. So do you actually care how much money that guy really has or how much the dinner really was? Not really, it was just dinner. So the point is that money is not enough to get a beautiful woman. It's enough to qualify you to try. Because she ain't going to go with a broke dude. And she's going to go with one of 10 dudes she can go with, and they all have enough money. Maybe more, one is more, one is less, but they all have enough money to give her the basic things she wants, bit dinner, bit fun, holiday, blah, blah, blah. So it just qualifies you to try. So if money is all you have and you have absolutely no other qualities, you're going to lose to the dude who has money and the other stuff. That's the game. Money's like having arms. Like a chick's not going to get with you just for having big arms. But if she's going to get with a dude, she probably wants a dude to have some arms. It's one of them. It's like, I'm going to get with you just for money, but I don't want to get with a broke guy. So like, women don't really think about money that way. They're just like, well, every guy I go on a date with is rich. Right. And men lie, especially rich men. And there's a man with $1 million who'll say he has 10. Girl doesn't know. Dudes think, if I get money, I'll get a chick. No, you won't. Because you'll get money, and then the chick you're after is still going to be dating athletes, superstars, all these dudes. They have money too, bro. You think your bored ape is going to impress her? You dork. True. I knew a girl in Luton who was in an abusive relationship, right? Her man was always hitting her, screaming at her. She was always crying, I want to leave him, blah, 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 blah. Problem was, when she finally left him, in fact, he got banged up for drugs, so he went to jail. She got some other guy, a nice guy, and she was a complete prick to this dude, and she was so unhappy. And the problem was, it's very, very hard to be interesting when your ex is a psycho, the new guy's boring. It's true. I can see in her eyes. I'd say, you're going home and you're turning up 2 hours late and he ain't even screaming, and you're bored, aren't you? Well, no. I was like, you miss the days of the fucking flying plates and shit. Because it's Kardashian. Women are addicted to drama. You watch TV shows. Women watch serial killers documentaries to relax. Like, this is the reality of females. You want drama. You want excitement. It's not a bad thing. You watch the Kardashians. You don't want it smooth. The point is, the whole paradigm of happiness is largely misunderstood. And we talk about happiness in society as if it's the most important metric, and I'd actually argue that it's not an important metric at all. And it's also really, truly amazing how what you define in your mind, the limits you set in your mind of what happy is and what happy isn't, becomes very, very true. About happy, I say two things. I say, firstly, you shouldn't be measuring or be concerned with how happy you are. It shouldn't be something that's in your mind or something you're even thinking about, right? You've got other things to think about and other things to do. The second thing is, and this is the truth, most of you, in fact, the large majority of you, don't deserve to be happy.
Why?
Because they haven't done the work it requires to be happy.
Yeah.
You're not a man of genuine excellence in every human metric. You don't deserve to be happy. You're sitting at your computer with your Bored Ape and your NFTs and $4 million, but you're fat and you're boring and you stink. And you expect yourself to be happy. You don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve it. You have to climb it. You have to get all the way up there to see the peak and its amazing view. Let me tell you something. I'm happy because all I've done is suffer. That's all I've ever done is suffer. This is how I got here. Suffer. My life's been nothing but suffering and trauma. That's how I got here. That's why my worldview's so brilliant. That's how I can wake up, and as long as no one has a gun to my head, I am happy because I have suffered. You, ladies and gentlemen, haven't suffered enough. And if you haven't suffered, you're never going to be happy. Happiness lies atop a mountain. If it's just laying all over the floor and anyone can pick it up, it has no value. People's entire mental model is skewed. The fact that a guy has big arms, the reason that has value is because it's rare. If every dude naturally had big arms by default, it wouldn't have a value. So you're talking about happiness as if it should just be laid all over the floor. If everyone could pick up happiness without trying, you still wouldn't be happy because it wouldn't have value, and you'd be aiming for you'd be looking for a new attention of happiness. You'd be looking for something else. You just raised the paradigm. And people who are out here trying to find happiness without trauma and suffering, those are the guys who get addicted to drugs, alcohol, all this crap, because they're trying to find temporary happiness. You're going to find happiness through pain. That's where happiness comes from. But it's the struggle that adds the value to things. The reason I'm going to love my cars so much is because I had nothing. And now I have them.
Walked 9 miles.
I walked 9 miles. Now I get to do it in a Lambo. It's beautiful. If I was born into money and was just given a Lambo for my birthday, I wouldn't even appreciate it. Yeah. That's the reality. So most of you men out here don't even deserve happiness. You come to me talking about happiness you don't deserve. And you know you don't deserve it because you're a coward and you're lazy and you're weak. You don't deserve happiness. It's good you're unhappy. That's your own mind telling you need to do more. Because if you were genuinely making an impact on the world and exerting your entire masculine force out into the universe, if you were genuinely doing that, you'd find happiness. So if you're sitting there feeling depressed, it's because you know you're lazy. You know you're not working very hard. And the whole people, especially men, if you have this paradigm in your mind that you should just be happy by default without trying, without working, without any kind of struggle, without any negatives in your life, and you're just going to be a happy person and you're always just going to be laughing and giggling in the top 1%, that's asimine. It's not real, and it's a stupid mentality to have. I don't care how happy you are. You have work to do. If any man comes to me and he's looking for guidance, I say, I don't really care how happy you are because you're fat. You got work to do. Come talk to me when you have a six-pack. Otherwise, I don't care. You have too much to get done to be talking about happiness. Most of you men out here have so much to get done before you talk about happiness. It's amazing to me how little work the majority of people out here are doing. You're a full-grown man living in a transitionary period of humanity where the entire financial system is broken and trillions of dollars are created from the sky, and you don't have a single million? You don't have one? They're everywhere. Like, how are you gonna be a full-grown man and not be a millionaire? Like, are you dumb? I find it amazing there's guys out here who are still broke.
Really?
How can you be poor in the modern society that we live in? Like, there's money everywhere.
There is.
It's literally everywhere. Like, so when I see a dude who's like, oh yeah, man, I'm broke, I just look at him and go,
you're not trying hard enough.
You're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
You're simply not trying hard enough. I can do it from a single mother, effectively, from a Luton council estate to ultra high net worth individual. realm. I'm not going to be softer on anyone else than I was on myself. If I held myself to such a crazy high standard and I was so accountable and so difficult and so hard on myself, why am I going to be soft on you? I was extremely hard on myself. I go sparring for 4 hours and I got hit once. Most people, most men especially, they live their life like complete amateurs. I don't understand how they even function. They don't know their own passport number. They haven't memorized. If you're going to talk to me or listen to me or compare your life to mine, nearly any man on the planet is going to a degree, be inferior. So you need to humble yourself. This is the truth. Men need to humble themselves. As a man, when you meet another man who you know can kick the shit out of you, it bothers you. Even if they don't want to admit it. So even if I meet a dude and I'm really polite, I'm like, hey bro, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Part of them's kind of like, fuck this guy.
Oh no.
Because they know I'll mess him up. He knows I'll mess him up. And it's something intrinsic about masculinity.